what is going on right now in your career?
Well, right now I'm scoring a picture for Pixar, so I'm actually rushing back to do that tomorrow. So,
can you tell us the name of the film?
Probably not yet. I don't know. It's funny because with Pixar and Apple are the two companies that I work with, where you sign these non-disclosure agreements that are actually like terrifying. You know what I mean? Where you're like, firstborn, your home.
We'll wait for it. We'll wait for it.
So anyway, so I'm doing a project right now with Pixar. It's my second project with them. They're a wonderful group to work with. And then I have so much music coming out. I'm going to try to get this very condensed. So I did a follow-up to my 2006 album, This Binary Universe, which is an art piece, electronic album, instrumental record that features a lot of my love of classical music and more experimental electronic music, IDM as it's called. So I did a follow-up to that, and there's examples of that on SoundCloud right now, soundcloud.com/BT. I got BT on everything. I've had to fight for that because a lot of things, you have to have more than 3 characters. So
it's easier to find you.
It is, yeah. So there's a follow-up to This Binary Universe coming out. There's also an electro-acoustic ambient album, which is the first ambient record that I've ever done. And it's a thing kind of for mindful meditation, for yoga, for things like that, like put on a bottle of wine with somebody you love type record. And then this year, actually last year, I started a band with one of my close friends, Christian Burns, and it's an actual band. This is not some like DJ and a singer type project. Both of us are 80s kids, and Christian he's sold 3 million records with BB Mac. He's sung on records for Tiesto and Armin van Buuren, big #1 tracks with those guys. And I love singing on my own records, but this is like a straight up synthwave, like an 80s duo. Christian is singing everything. I'm doing all the music.
Am I the only one who's lost my way here? And where do I belong? The looking glass will tell me what to do. The looking glass won't let me walk away.
And we've made this entire record without a single computer on it. So the whole record is made with modular analog synthesizers from the 80s. We wrote 17 songs, and we actually just put something on the internet the other day, and in like 3 days, we had like 15,000 Twitter followers, and the song got played on the radio in Liverpool, and they called us a synthwave supergroup. I was like, Mom, listen, okay, everything's fine. I'm like from a family of physicians, you know. So anyway, so really excited about that. That's called All Hail the Silence. And then I'm working on the follow-up to These Hopeful Machines, my last EDM album. And that'll be coming out, I think, this year as well, too. So unbeknownst to me, one of the songs from it that I did with Artie and Nadia Ali kind of debuted this week. I wasn't anticipating that happening, but Armin van Buuren and Artie have been playing it like quite literally around the clock. So, and the reaction to it's fantastic. So I'm really excited. So it's like
that is very exciting.
Records this year.
What's your inspiration behind what you do?
You know, I get inspired by a multitude of different things, but more so than anything, you know, I'm inspired by being outside, being in nature, anything from going scuba diving to walking in the woods, you know, and also too, I incorporate a lot of, you know, I'm a classical music sort of geeky kid, right? My interests were computers and computer science and technology and programming, and then classical music, you know, harmony, theory, counterpoint, writing for, you know, small sections and those kind of things. So a lot of my inspiration actually comes from mathematics and science, you know, I'm constantly looking for ways to use and iterate mathematical ideas into the compositional process.
So you don't just wing it?
No, not at all. No, it's a little too calculated. Like everything's on right angles. Like
everything is perfected.
So there's a lot of thought and that goes into the compositional process for me. But those are two of my main sources of inspiration.
And why DJing?
You know, it's funny because DJing really is sort of a misnomer for me, and
I think for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, it's true. I look at some of the crop of guys that are coming up now, and I have a lot more kinship with people that are coming up now than what would be considered to be my sort of alma mater, my peer group. In that, I've never really DJ'd. Like when people now, it's funny, they see the aesthetic of a guy and a laptop and some USB controllers. The assumption is DJing.
Automatic DJ.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think what I do in a performance context is much more, it shares a lot more similarities with something like King Tubby and the old sort of dub sound system things, where they're actually doing live remixing, where they have plate reverbs and sort of tape delays and these kind of things, and they were remixing things off 4 tracks live. That's a lot closer to what I do. So sometimes, I'll take a 2-bar loop from a deadmau5 record, I'll write a bass line in massive over top of it, I'll use my plugin Stutter Edit on a vocal from Jess, and I'll actually make a piece of music while I'm standing on stage. So
You make it sound so easy.
it's not, honestly.
No, you make it look so easy, but when you explain it.
It's crazy, honestly. It's funny because I played in bands as a kid and everything, and I have moments where I'm standing on stage and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell is playing, and I'm like, wow, there's 30,000 people here. This better end well. You know what I mean? But it's that kind of plate spinning analogy where you're always riding that line between teetering into abysmal failure and like totally winning, and so it's really exciting, like playing with a band is, so I love it. It's one of my favorite things, especially writing a record and then getting out and getting to perform the songs is really exciting.
And how does lighting affect the journey that you take your audience on?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, on a night when there's amazing lighting, it's a completely different
different atmosphere.
It's not even related, honestly. If you look at something like deadmau5, right? It's like that experience of watching someone like deadmau5 is completely related to the visual component of it, completely hyper interrelated. If you saw Joel without a mouse head and the cube, it's not really going to be a thing.
It's not the same.
Yeah, at all. So I think lighting's an incredibly important part of it, and the visual component. So it's something that when we put a tremendous amount of thought into. I'm doing a festival this summer, and we're going to do the first and second This Binary Universe, and we're going to do it with some amazing projection and visuals and intelligent lighting.
Can't wait to see.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it.